This thing's a little tall for a 5'9" and 7'8", huh?
Is that one of those things like you know what's coming when they're doing that, but does it matter?
I don't really think it matters. I don't know how tall was like Drew Brees, you know.
Yeah,
Not
much taller.
I think there's a lot of guys who are under 6 foot. I don't know how much a fourth does, but there's 2 guys playing right now who are a fourth taller than me. I think it's either you got it or you don't. That's how I was brought up. That's how I was raised. And I believe like you go check the tape, like that's all that really matters. Can you play football? It don't matter about height. It don't matter how much you weigh. Like you see it every single day. Turpin at the Cowboys is dominating, and I don't know how much he weighs, you know, and he's just a small guy, but he's got it.
Have you ever felt like you were being held back by your size? Do you feel like you were limited in any way?
Never felt limited in my life. I've weighed 200 for the past 4 years of my life, but I got sick recently before our bowl game, and it was hard to eat, it was hard to hold stuff down, so I went down to 185 pounds. But now I'm back in Tampa training with with Coach Yo, and he's getting me right, and so I'm just building that strength day by day. I bet you weigh me by the end of the day, and I'm probably like 204, 203, you know.
You ever heard of Doug Flutie?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, I would say
Yes, sir.
he's one of the smaller quarterbacks that have.
Yeah, I got to meet him at the Heisman thing, so that was awesome.
Good job.
Yes, sir.
So another question I have for you, and that's this. The fact that we all know Indiana came out of nowhere to win the national championship, but you took Vanderbilt to some incredible heights knowing that they were at the bottom of the SEC as well. Do you feel that that's going to do a lot to help boost your draft stock, knowing full well that you took a program with really no history and made them relevant? No, you didn't make the college football playoff, but you made people pay attention to Vanderbilt football, which nobody's done.
Yeah, I'd hope to think that, you know, it works out in the favor for all of us. My ex-teammates that I've had, the teammates that are still there at Vanderbilt. Someone I like to think about is like Junior Sherrill. I think the leap that he took from our 7-6 season to the 10-2 season, he's someone who was just so dominant, and I felt like, you know, you kind of go back and you're like, damn, I should have threw him the ball more. I should have called more pass plays to him, you know, and just things like that. Trey Richardson, who was a great talent. I mean, that team was just so loaded. It's just crazy to think about. It puts a smile on my face just thinking about those guys, you know.
Every time you jumped a level, nothing's changed in terms of how well you've played. Is that what you tell these guys here?
I like to tell the scouts, you know, what you see is what you're going to get. Ain't nothing going to change about me. I feel like I'm the biggest competitor in the world. I want to win at all costs. I hate losing. I remember at New Mexico State, and I tell them this story, we're 1-5, and there was like, that was the worst feeling probably of my life. It's just being down 1-5, and then obviously we went 6-6 and won a bowl game 7-6 that year. So, but I like to tell them I've been so blessed to never have a losing season of football ever in my life. So that's a good thing.
As you meet with teams, what are some of the questions that they're asking you?
Just, you know, they ask kind of like your background, your upbringing. They also like to put you on the board and get to know you as a football player a little bit, what you were comfortable with, what Coach Beck allowed me to do as far as checks, as far as the offense, things like that.
So people always talk about the height as why you won't succeed. What's the one signature trait, the one trump card of yours that makes you sure you're going to?
I would say just my competitive edge, my dog, you know. I feel like that's just who I've always been. I've never been a loser. I won't be a loser. Like, that's just who I am, and that's just who I'll forever be.
What part of your game is specifically that gives you that edge, gives you that confidence?
I think it's my preparation, just the way I prepare. It's just like I'm so dialed into my process every single week. It's like when you have that backbone of like, you know why you're doing it, I think that's what gives you all the confidence in the world. You don't need to worry about anything. And then obviously, Jesus Christ, like I don't have anything to worry about. There's nothing I should fear. There's nothing I should worry about. He's got me.
Diego, obviously Alabama fans have gotten to know you well over the past 2 years. What was kind of your impression, whether it was, you know, playing them in Nashville 2 years ago, stepping into Bryant-Denny? Was the atmosphere, you know, playing against Alabama what you thought it would be coming to the SEC?
You're talking at Alabama?
Both at Alabama and against Vanderbilt. Like, did it feel like you thought it would play in Alabama, or was it just kind of a normal football game?
Yeah, I kind of just go into a football game. Obviously, you got the players who are highlighted and who are potential draft picks, but I don't. I'm the type of guy I got to see it for myself to believe it. And like, all right, you're a first rounder, you got to show me. And so like against South Carolina, Dylan Stewart showed me why he was so good, and I kind of like. I was like, all right, so now you got to start sliding the line his way, and hopefully you guys make plays on the other side, So that was the first time where I was like a DN could take over a football game.
Did Alabama show you that they were that good?
Alabama has really talented players all over the field. They'll forever have talented players. They're Alabama, just like LSU and A&M and all these schools that have money, But yeah, every team in the SEC, it's a level playing field now. Alabama has a lot of talented players. I think the safety, number 18, I kind of forgot his name. He was really talented. Obviously, the whole everyone on the offense is really talented as well.
Has anybody here shown you that they're that good? Any wide receiver, any running back showing you that they're that good?
Yeah, you can tell that donor at Texas Tech, he got his money's worth. Those receivers at Texas Tech. I mean, all the receivers, it's like, dude, every single receiver you got, it's awesome. It's like playing with the number one everywhere you go, all the tight ends. But I've been super blessed to play with the best tight end in college football. So that's something that I got in my pocket.
So you said that there are quarterbacks in the NFL that aren't that much taller. Is Caleb Williams kind of on the list of guys you look at, or maybe classically tall?
I think Caleb Williams is actually, what is he, like 6'1"?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of tall, but he's just he's like freaky athletic, and like I kind of that's who's like highlights I'll watch. Just going to sleep, just trying to study his game. Like you see some of his throws, that fourth down throw is like, I don't know, maybe Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen make that. But that's just like he's got that mindset of I've never met him, but I think he's got that mindset of like, no one could touch me on this field. Like I'm the best player every time I tilt the field my way. And so like that's what I like to think in my head is no one's better than me. I'm gonna tilt the field my way just by my play, my preparation, and just how I approach the game.
You talk about the schools with money and they'll always have good players, but it felt like when you guys took the field, you never felt like you were at a talent disadvantage. I mean, when you're playing against Texas or Tennessee or Alabama, was that a mindset, or was that you guys really were that talented?
I really believe that we were that talented. Top to bottom, like our offense, we had one Junior Sherrill who went for 784 yards. We had Trey who went for 806. We had Eli who went for 750. Our backs were really talented, catching the ball at the backfield, running the football. Like it's just our O line. Like I don't know, it's crazy to me to think that we're 10-2 in the SEC, and we only have one guy who's like a for sure draft pick, and so I think that's something to just put out there is that like I want to see if it might be the first time ever or something, but yeah, it's just crazy to think like shoot, maybe we just got that much dog in us,
Diego, I have a question about Johnny Manziel. I know you had a little bit of an interaction with him. What was that experience like with you to try to deal with him, knowing that he's been through the rigors before, and obviously was there any knowledge that he could pass on to you that would help you as you transition to your NFL career?
Yeah, he gave me like the do's and the don'ts, and he gave me some advice that would stick with me for the rest of my life. He was just like, hey, if you really want this, like, you got to pour your all into this, And so that's some of the advice that he gave me is just like, I want to say he didn't say like, don't be like him, but like, just do as he says, not as he did. And he knows my goal. He's a close friend of mine. He's always here to give me advice. So I'm super thankful for him, like just going out of his way, checking up on me, making sure I'm doing good. He's just someone who, I looked up to since a little kid, and now he's like one of my homies, so that's cool.
Diego, before you got to Vanderbilt, they were traditionally not an SEC powerhouse by any means. You get there, all of a sudden you talked about it 10-2, the way you guys finished this year. In these interviews, do you bring that up? Like when they ask you, like it's not a coincidence, I got there, I'm a key catalyst and why this program turned around?
Well, I think it's a team effort. I'll say this about Vanderbilt. When I first got there wasn't a lot of extra work being put in. And then I'll just say resume to this past year. You go to fall camp. Obviously, the days are long. You're getting there early, staying late. I'm leaving the building around 9 p.m. and I see Corday Sidnor and Zaylin Wood punching the bag in the weight room. I'm like, damn, like these guys. Then you go to the indoor and there's guys working on their routes, they're working on their footwork, and it's 12 at night, and you just see that kind of stuff and it just ripples through the team. And I think that's why we were so dominant. Just everyone was an underdog and just wanted it so much more than everyone else.
Awesome. Thank you, Diego.
Thank you, guys.
Diego.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.